Now, some people are naturally born with confidence, and this lighting is just okay. Okay, some people are born with confidence, some people are not born with confidence. It is something that everyone just naturally gets. I know we kind of think that, we speak in a way that as if, oh, why is this guy not confident? You need to be confident doing something. But the truth is, that guy is not just born, he's not born with it. It is something that you are born with and you are not born with. And I also think your environment, the people you are around, plays a significant role in that, because this is not something that you can blame genetics on or anything like that. It is, I think, more than whether you're born with it or not. It's just about your first few years as a child, as a kid growing up. How are you built, how are you brought up? And I think that's what's going to set up if you're a confident person or not for the rest of your life. You probably notice, some kids in by the time you're in fourth or fifth grade, they have that arrogance to themselves, and you literally look at it from afar and be like, this guy is so freaking arrogant. I hate this guy. Why does he have an attitude like this? Let's say someone else, let's say he's a captain of a football team and someone makes a mistake, he'll go and really get heated about it. And you look at these characters and you're like, why are they doing that? Why are they like this? Even I used to think that, every time I would see, especially when I was in, I think, sixth grade, I would see just basic freaking football games would play and a foul or something, and guys would go at each other, and I'm like, why are you doing this? Like, it's just, I looked at it and I thought it was quite cringy at that point, because it's just a freaking football game. I know there's, you want to win the game, obviously, but like, you're going and fighting and physically attacking each other just because someone did a mistake and stuff like this. And I used to think like, why? The truth is, these people, as cocky or arrogant as they may look and appear, they have that confidence about themselves. They naturally have it. I did not have it for majority of my childhood. In fact, I would say throughout my childhood, I did not have confidence in anything I did. I could have practiced something a billion times, and yet if I'm going to do it again, I would be nervous about it. I wouldn't be sure. I never had that mindset of, okay, I can do this. I know it's a kind of cliche thing that, a lot of people say, I can do this, that I can do it mindset thing, but I never really had that. No matter how much I practiced for something, no matter how good I was at something or how bad I was at something, when I am going and, about to do that thing again, I would be nervous. I would not have a percent of confidence in myself that I can actually nail that thing. I remember one of the easiest examples I could give was, I used to be pretty decently good at running. I was never a great athlete or anything, but I was always decent at running. But yet, every time I was at the mark and they were about to, I don't know what you call that thing, they make the noise and then they start running. Right before that, I would still get extremely nervous. Often, I would rarely finish anything below second place, but yet I would always get nervous. My hands, I'm like keeping my hands there, how runners get their mark, right? Set their mark. This would be my hands. That would be my hands. And also, I do think the generation, the kind of society that we're growing up with now, the social space that we're in is a very soft, vulnerable place. If someone has, like I said in the beginning of the video, you see some people having that kind of almost arrogant mindset. People kind of put that off. Like, don't be like that. You need to be kinder. You need to be softer. You need to be nicer to people. And although I agree, you need to be humble and stuff, but I think there is a limit, especially as a guy. I'm not speaking for a girl here, but in a competitive world, I think I can put it better that way. Whether you're a guy or girl, in a competitive space, you need to have that arrogant mindset that I am better than these people competing with me. Because otherwise, if you're sitting and thinking, I'm just going to do my best, I'll just try my best, this mindset is what people preach to you, and this mindset is what is not going to let you succeed in anything. And that's the mindset I had. I remember this might be even going away from the topic a bit, but on sports day, I was running the race. It was a 100 or 200 meter race. I think a 200 meter race. I was expecting so badly of myself, even though I knew I could run pretty decently. I was expecting so badly of myself that after the first, I don't know, freaking 80 to 100 meters, I was tied with the guy who was running at first. I was pretty much, me and him were pretty much, on the same pace. And I almost had it in my head that, okay, I've done well enough. I'll just settle for second place. I did not have it in me to literally push and run harder and make it to first place. I just thought, okay, I'm already here. Let the guy just go. That's literally, it's not something I consciously think of, because in such a short period of time, literally when you're running, you can't be thinking of stuff. You just have to freaking run. But just initially, that's what I felt first. Like, okay, I've already done well enough. Nobody's gonna criticize me or tell me that I've done badly for coming at second place. Right? That's good enough. And I kid you not, right after the race, the guy that won the race, came first. He came in. You could have literally freaking beaten me, and you did not. And it did not even strike me at that point. And why? because initially I had no confidence in myself. I had no aggressive, how do I even say aggressive? That kind of arrogance that I am better than you kind of attitude. This attitude is something that you should have in yourself. You should not show it. You should not go and tell people. It's not about, verbally telling people, look, I'm better than you. I can beat you at this. I can beat you at that. I'm better than you at that. It's not about that. It's you show it. You think about it to yourself. Okay, I am better than these people. I don't care if, they are more talented than me or whatever. I am better than these people. I'm going to freaking nail this race or whatever you're doing. That is a mindset you have. And we live in a space where that is a mindset that's kind of pushed away. You need to be more softer, you need to be more kind, you need to be more generous to people and stuff. And I really don't like that, because again, this is nothing against being kind. You should I don't think I need to tell that, being kind is like an excellent trait, an excellent quality as a human being, but you can't let that take away the competitive nature from yourself. Life is a competition. I don't care what you say. Whatever you do, whether it's you can like visually see it right next to you or not, there are people competing. I'm making a video and there's probably freaking millions of other people making a video at the exact same time. Which one is gonna get more views? I don't know, but I am competing with someone, right? Even though that's not my goal right now, I am pretty much competing with someone. It's inevitable. That is life. And as long as if you keep having that soft mentality, you're not going to go anywhere. But yeah, I was never confident in myself. Again, if you keep seeing me looking at this, it's just I'm looking at the laptop and looking at the points that I've written down for me to speak about. A lot of the things that made me nervous as a kid still makes me nervous now. I'm not going to lie. It's not like as I'm making this video, how you can be more confident. It's not like I have achieved peak confidence. It's not like I can go into anything and I know I'm going to nail it. It's not the case. A lot of this thing still gives me nervousness. I could have done something so well and I know I'm very good at something, yet I'll go to do it and let's just put one person, just there to watch me do it. I would get nervous. But now I do not show that nervousness. It's like before it was a case of while I was getting nervous, my hands were shaky and stuff, I would tell myself, oh man, am I good enough for this? I would have those self-doubts if I can actually do it. It was not a competitive mindset whatsoever. Now that's not the case. Even though I may feel nervous for something, I convince myself in my own head that look, I'm good enough, I am confident, I'm going to freaking catch this guy. And you may think, how can acting it out actually become a real thing? But it does become a real thing. And honestly, there's no one way to go about this. It's a case of it's multiple things you do over a period of time. Your body language, the eye contact you make with people, just subtle things, the way you walk, with your shoulders laid back a bit more, giving the kind of carefree nature to yourself. These are small things that can make a huge difference when you see someone as confident and see someone as not confident. There could be two people, literally same physique, same everything. They could look the exact same. One guy could have, I don't know, what kind of an example can I give? Let's say they're about to speak in front of a large crowd. Yeah, they're about to speak in front of a large crowd. And this one guy is excellent at it. He's done it multiple times. He's done it freaking 10, 11 times in his whole life. He's spoken in front of a large crowd. A lot of people don't speak. They don't get the chance in their life much to speak in front of a large crowd anyway. And this guy's done it many times, so he should have experience. But yet this guy seems very hesitant. He seems very nervous. When you see him walking and he's just sitting, he's kind of like this, waiting for his turn. The other guy, he seems very carefree. He's kind of laid back like this, taking all the space wherever he's sitting. He's barely ever spoken in front of a large crowd, yet he looks like he doesn't freaking give a damn. Who do you think is going to do better? That carefree attitude is again mistaken for arrogance, mistaken for overconfidence, but the truth is that is the attitude you need if you want to appear as a confident person. Like I said, subtle things like just laying your shoulders back while walking, keeping your chest out a little bit more. When you're talking to people or when you're walking past people, don't look at your phone. I hate this thing. That it's something I genuinely consciously try not to do. Whenever we're in an awkward position, we pull out our phone for absolutely no reason. I see people in my age, around my age in the gym every single time. Apart from the time that they're doing their actual set, you won't see them a second without their freaking phone. They'll go to the washroom with their phone. They'll shift between the different exercises with their phone. I actually I can't believe why, what is so freaking, I'm like, how do you even stay on the phone for that long? I genuinely ask myself these things sometimes. And I know for a fact that these people are not doing anything on their phone. They're just there because they can't freaking make eye contact with anyone. They don't want to look around with anyone. They don't want to be in an awkward position. And even though sometimes I feel, for example, in the gym, every single day, I go to the gym 5 days out of 7 days a week. I feel extremely awkward at certain positions because it's a small space with a lot of freaking people. And just imagine this scenario, yeah, you finish doing your bicycles or whatever, you put the freaking dumbbells back and you're just waiting there. You just have to stand there and wait. I know it may seem very simple, but it's a very awkward thing because there are like freaking people around you. You're just standing there doing nothing and you don't know what to do with your hands. I don't want to take the phone and, mess around with it either. You're thinking, oh, should I go drink some water? These are small things that, keep coming in your head. But as long as you kind of take those challenges head on, you should be fine. That is how you build up that confidence. That's how you pretend you're confident, even though you're not actually confident, even though you're nervous at times. Like I said, some people are born with it. Some people are, they get that from the time they're a child. Again, I don't want to say they're born with it. I think it's just a case of, the way they've been brought up with their parents and stuff. It's just that kind of a nature. Whereas if you've been brought up in a more soft, vulnerable, kind, this a lot more of a, I think, soft nature is the best way to put it. Inevitably, that kind of arrogant confidence about yourself is not going to be there. You need to act like that guy. You need to act like that guy. And over time, you notice all these things, your body language, the eye contact we make with people, just feeling more comfortable with that nervous feeling inside of you. That's what's going to shape up your confidence. Even though, like I said, that shaky nervous feeling will pretty much always be there. You can't do anything about it. Even though you could excel at something, you could be so good at something, yet you're going to do it again. If you put, let's say some people are watching, you're going to be nervous. It's inevitable. But you convince yourself that you're not. You act as if you're not. And acting as if you're not is good enough. That's good enough to convince yourself and others that you are a confident guy. So, like I said, you may think, how can acting work it out? But it'll turn into a real thing over a period of time. Let's say you do this, a little bit of you're pretending that you're confident for a couple of years. It'll take a long time, maybe not a couple of years, but let's say you do it for a significant period of time. Again, confidence is something that you're going to require in everyday scenarios. So it's not like you need to go to the mall to do this or you need to go outside to do this. No, you're at home, you go out, you go to the freaking grocery supermarket, start making eye contact with people, start talking a bit slower. A lot of people who are nervous, they talk very fast. I talk very fast even on my videos, although that's not a I mean, I have no reason to be nervous on my videos, but yet I speak fast. It's something I consciously try and do. When someone asks me a question, I take a few more seconds to respond. These are small things that you can do to appear confident. Last thing, I nearly forgot this. Build up that aggressive mindset. That mindset of I can dominate whatever I go into. And another thing is, I see, even I used to be one of these guys where everything that any decision you have to make, any opinion you have to take a side on, I would always be on the edge. I would not be sure, is this the right thing to do, is this the wrong thing to do. I remember so many times in school, the teacher or the sir or whatever, they'd ask a question which I really like, I 100% knew the answer. No one else in my class really knew the answer. I would not raise my hand and respond. Why? Because that fear of I may be wrong. I'll tell you one thing right now, whether you're wrong or you're right, it does not matter in this world, as long as you're strong and you have a real grasp on whatever you want to have a grasp on, whatever you think, whatever opinion you think of that strongly. It doesn't matter if 50 other people think of it wrongly. I don't A lot of my videos, I say stuff that people who are close to me really freaking they don't accept it. A lot of opinions, I have a day-to-day life. I speak with people, they don't think I'm right one bit, but I don't freaking care. I don't care if I'm wrong, I don't care if I'm right, and I don't think there is a certain thing as right or wrong, apart from very very I mean, if I tell you water is not important, then it's like it's obviously wrong. But there are some things in life that when you have an opinion on, it's just a case of, just because a lot of people think towards a certain way and you think a different way does not mean you're wrong. It's just your perspective. It's just because so many people think a certain way, people are more directed to go in that way than think that you are right. So it's just a case of, whether you're wrong or right does not matter. Just whatever your opinion you have, be strong on that. Be strong on that. And that will also build up that aggressive, strong mindset in you. Where, again, these are all things that goes hand in hand. You build up these strong opinions and you may think, how does this make you confident? It will make you confident over a period of time. When you start speaking to people, when you start doing certain things, you build up that attitude that, what, I can freaking dominate this is fine. So start acting as if you are more confident. Whenever you go around, just force yourself to make eye contact with, at least for a second and a half or 2 seconds, with people. Whenever you're in a social situation, you feel awkward and you feel awkward, don't pick up your phone. Just wait there, do nothing. It's absolutely fine to do nothing. When you're speaking with people, respond a bit slower. Look at their eyes while talking to them here and there. These things make it, when you're walking around, let's say in a social environment, you're walking out to a supermarket, you're walking outside, whatever, don't walk with your shoulders down, looking at your phone or whatever. Lay your shoulders back a little bit. I don't care if people think you're freaking, you give off that carefree attitude. It does not matter. It does not matter. You do these things over a period of time. I promise you, you will build up confidence. And yeah, that's it. I have nothing else to say.